They told us that government jobs in China were safe, that civil servants in China had the iron rice ball, a job for life, guaranteed pay, stability. But in 2025, even the police are not getting paid. Not in Tibet, not in Inner Mongolia, not even in wealthy provinces like Guangdong. From unpaid cops to frozen salaries in schools and welfare centers, the system is unraveling. The very people who are supposed to enforce stability, they are now protesting in the streets. China's local government is broke, and that means the system of control is breaking down. Let's talk about what happens when the surveillance state runs out of money. For decades, government jobs in China were the gold standard. You didn't get rich, but you got security, a stable salary, pensions, benefits, the envy of the private sector. Today, even that is gone. In Guangdong, frontline police officers haven't been paid for months. Officers report running side hustles just to survive. In Hebei, cops are showing up to freezing precincts with no heating and no paycheck, and still being told to patrol. In Inner Mongolia, police are ordered to keep working without pay, on the vague promise of future compensation. But it's not just law enforcement. Teachers in vocational schools have lost their bonuses, and in some cases, their base salaries have been slashed. Funds earmarked for disabled worker support have been diverted or disappeared, leaving welfare workers unpaid. Grid workers, the human glue of the surveillance state, are routinely working unpaid overtime, sometimes without contracts. This isn't wage arrears. This is a collapse of the compensation system at every level. So, what is behind this unraveling? It is the fiscal black hole at the heart of China's local governments. For 2 decades, the engine behind China's revenue was one thing: land sales. Local governments sold land use rights to developers, used the proceeds to fund infrastructure, payroll, and propaganda. But that engine has seized up. The real estate sector has been in free fall. Major developers like Evergrande are bankrupt. Land auctions are failing. Revenues have plunged. That's not all. Small and medium-sized enterprises are collapsing by the tens of thousands, shrinking the tax base. Household consumption is down, cutting VAT and personal income tax receipts. Deflation is spreading, choking economic momentum and cash flows. Local governments are left with massive expenditures and a trickle of income. And you know their top expense? Salaries for civil servants. So guess who gets cut first? When you can't make payroll, desperation sets in. Police officers are ordered to find more drivers, issue more citations, not to enforce law, but to raise revenue. Internal quotas encourage random arrests, arbitrary fines, and even bail extortion. This has become a nationwide phenomenon. In city after city, we see the shift from law enforcement to revenue enforcement, from protecting the public to squeezing the public. While meanwhile, governments expand their surveillance systems on the chip. No money for trained monitors? No problem. Recruit food delivery workers, janitors, and rideshare drivers as part-time social supervisors. Offer vague perks like social credit points or minor subsidies. The result? A surveillance system growing in scope but crumbling in substance. The Grid Management System, the CCP's famed urban control network, is collapsing under its own weight. Originally, it was designed to monitor neighborhoods block by block. Now it's a hollowed out shell. Many grid workers have quit due to unpaid wages. Others work double shifts to compensate, unpaid and overstressed. Data collection has slowed. Surveillance records are missing. Community intelligence is degraded. Yet, instead of pausing expansion, the party is pushing more coverage, rural areas, private spaces, even children's online habits. But without pay, trust, or infrastructure, it's performative, it's political theater, and it's falling apart. Everywhere, frustration is boiling over. Factory workers in Guangdong protesting over unpaid wages. Sanitation workers in Sichuan holding strikes. Hospital staff in Chongqing walking off the job. Civil servants in Shanxi demanding full back pay. This year, protest activity started earlier and spread faster than in the years past. Workers have lost patience. Families are under financial strain. The iron rice bowl has not only cracked, it's shattered. This is no longer about a few bad provinces. This is a nationwide decay. The central government is well aware. In closed-door meetings, they have issued talking points like rectify arrears, prioritize essential workers, ensure stability. But what they haven't done is send money, because they don't have it either. The central budget is squeezed. Exports are slowing. Youth unemployment is at record highs. Without federal bailouts, local governments are left to rot. And as the economy weakens further, there's no light at the end of this tunnel. Only deeper structural rot. And here's the great irony of China in 2025. The very system built to enforce obedience is starving itself to death. Unpaid cops mean fewer arrests. Unpaid grid workers mean less surveillance. Unpaid teachers mean less ideological indoctrination. This isn't the bark. It's the logical endpoint of a model addicted to land revenue, debt, and fear. And now it's running on fumes. And the result? For ordinary Chinese citizens, a glimmer of unexpected freedom, less surveillance, fewer state touch points, more space to breathe. But make no mistake, that freedom is fragile. It exists not because the system evolved, but because it's collapsing. China's unraveling isn't dramatic. It is not an instant explosion. It is a slow motion implosion. When the police can't eat, when teachers go on strike, when the surveillance grid burns out, it's not just a fiscal problem. It's a signal that the state no longer keeps its end of the deal. The people are waking up, and the propaganda machine can't pay its workers either. The great control experiment is breaking down. And what comes next may finally be out of Beijing's hands. So let's stay sharp, stay free, and I'll see you next time.